Your dog is not stretching. The body is. The signal is not. Every time you walk through your door and your dog drops their chest to the floor, lifts their hips, and arches into that low, slow bow, they are not waking up their muscles. They are performing a 40-million-year-old greeting ritual that predates wolves, predates humans, predates the entire concept of domestication itself. And the message inside that posture is so specific, so ancient, and so deeply wired into the canine nervous system that ethologists gave it its own name. It is not a stretch. It never was a stretch. It is one of the oldest, most sacred social signals on the planet, and it is happening in your living room. By the end of this video, you will know the technical name scientists use for this posture, the exact hormone cascade it triggers in both you and your dog at the same time, what your dog is communicating that no other species on Earth communicates this way, and why every wild canid alive today, from Arctic foxes to African wild dogs to grey wolves, performs the same movement when greeting a trusted pack member. Stick around to the end, and you will also learn the one detail in your dog's bow that ethologists use to measure exactly how deeply they trust you. The play bow. That is its real name. Not the stretch, not the greeting, the play bow. The term was coined by Dr. Marc Bekoff, an evolutionary biologist at the University of Colorado who has spent over 4 decades studying canine social behavior. His research established something extraordinary about this posture. It is not a transitional movement between rest and motion. It is a deliberate signal, a sentence, a piece of language without words. When your dog drops into the bow, every line of their body is broadcasting information. The lowered chest, the raised hindquarters, the relaxed mouth, the locked eye contact, the slight curve of the tail. Bekoff calls it metacommunication, communication about communication. It is the canine way of saying everything that follows this moment is friendship. Everything that follows this moment is safe. The stretch that isn't a stretch. Most owners assume the bow is post-rest fascia release. The dog was sleeping, the body needs to wake up, the stretch is the result. That is partially true. There is a real physiological component. Slow extension of the latissimus, the gluteals, the spinal erector's fascia decompresses, blood returns to the limbs, the central nervous system shifts gear from rest to ready. But here is what most owners get wrong. The stretch happens behind closed doors, when no one is watching. It happens after every nap, in every dog, alone in every room. The bow you see when you walk in is different. It is timed, it is directed, it is performed only for an audience. Your dog is not waking their body up. They are saluting you. 40 million years? That is how long this gesture has existed on Earth. The play bow is preserved across the entire canid family. Every species descended from the Miacids, the small tree-dwelling carnivores that lived in the late Eocene epoch. Wolves perform it, coyotes perform it, jackals perform it, African wild dogs perform it, Arctic foxes perform it in the snow before pouncing on their siblings. Dingoes perform it in the Australian outback. Bush dogs in the Amazon rainforest perform it. Researchers have observed wolf pups performing recognizable play bows within their first 8 weeks of life, before any social learning, before any reinforcement, fully formed and fully fluent in the language of their pack. 40 million years of evolution, dozens of speciation events, continents shifting, ice ages rising and falling, and the bow remained almost completely unchanged. This is what biologists call a deeply conserved signal. When a behavior survives that long across that many lineages, it means one thing: the behavior works. It is so reliable, so functional, so essential to social bonding that no canid line could afford to lose it. Your dog inherited a gesture older than the Atlantic Ocean, the Oxytocin Cascade. In 2015, a research team led by Dr. Takefumi Kikusui at Azabu University in Japan published a study in the journal Science that changed everything we thought we knew about dog-human bonding. The team found that when a dog and a human gaze at each other during reunion, both species experience a simultaneous surge in oxytocin, the same hormone released during mother-infant bonding, breastfeeding, and romantic touch. They called it the gaze loop. You look at your dog looks back. Oxytocin rises in both nervous systems at the same time. Levels can rise as much as 130% in some dogs during reunion, the same magnitude human mothers show when reuniting with their own children. The play bow is the entry point to that loop. The bow lowers the head, opens the chest, exposes the throat, a posture of total vulnerability that signals safety to the human brain and sustains eye contact long enough for the oxytocin cascade to fire. Your dog's bow is a chemical key. It unlocks the hormone of love. Metacommunication. This is the concept Bekoff used to describe what makes the play bow so different from every other animal signal we know of. Most animal communication is direct. A growl means stay back. A wag means happy. A snarl means threat. The bow is something different. The bow is a frame. It tells the receiver how to interpret everything that comes next. Without the bow, a chase looks like an attack. A nip looks like aggression. A wrestle looks like a fight. With the bow, all of those become play. It is one of the only known examples in the animal kingdom of an organism communicating about its own communication. Apes do not do this. Cats do not do this. Birds do not do this. Canids do. The cortisol drop. Reunion is not just emotional for your dog, it is biochemical. Studies on canine separation and reunion physiology show that when an owner returns after an absence, salivary cortisol in the dog drops measurably within minutes. Cortisol is the stress hormone. Elevated levels during separation drive the pacing, the whining, the destruction, the watch-the-window vigil. Research by Therese Rein and colleagues at the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences confirmed that dogs greet familiar humans with more intense, more sustained bowing behavior than they show to any stranger. The more attached the bond, the deeper the bow. The bow is the visible exhale. It is your dog's body releasing the load they carried while you were gone. The arch of the back is not muscle, it is decompression. The raised tail is not posture, it is relief. The exposed belly is not submission, it is the safety they were holding for. You came home, the stress hormone falls, the body bows. The Asymmetry Code. Here is the detail almost no owner notices. Bekoff's research found that not all play bows are equal. Some are symmetric. Both elbows touch the ground at the same time, perfectly even, parallel. Others are asymmetric, one paw forward, weight shifted, head tilted slightly off axis. The asymmetric bow is the deeper signal. When a dog performs an asymmetric play bow, ethologists interpret it as a heightened communicative gesture, a more intentional, more nuanced message to a specific individual the dog trusts deeply. The symmetric bow is the universal greeting. The asymmetric bow is the personal one. The next time your dog bows when you walk in, watch their elbows. Watch which paw extends first. Watch the angle of the head. That asymmetry is your dog's love letter. The fox mirror. In 1959, Soviet geneticist Dmitry Belyaev began an experiment in Novosibirsk that would last for over 6 decades. He selectively bred silver foxes for one trait only, tameness. Within 40 generations, he created foxes that wagged their tails, licked human faces, whined for attention, and critically performed the play bow on greeting. Wild silver foxes do not bow to humans. They cannot. The bow requires trust, social recognition, and the cognitive frame to identify the human as a fellow pack member. Belyaev's tame foxes developed it as a side effect of being bred for friendliness. The lesson is staggering. The play bow is not learned, it is not trained, it is unlocked. It lives dormant in the canid genome, waiting for the social conditions that activate it. You activated it. Indigenous reverence. Long before ethology existed as a field, indigenous cultures across the world watched this gesture and understood it as sacred. The Plains nations of North America recorded dogs bowing to returning hunters as a sign of blessing on the household. In Hindu cosmology, dogs are companions to Bhairava, a fierce form of Shiva, and a bowing dog at a temple threshold is considered an auspicious sign that the spirit of the place has accepted the visitor. Ancient Egyptian texts describing the jackal-headed Anubis frequently note the bowing posture as the divine acknowledgement of the soul. Across continents, across millennia, across belief systems, humans saw the bow and recognized it for what it was. A blessing, an honoring, a statement of devotion older than the words we have to describe it. So the next time you walk through your door and your dog drops into that low, slow bow, pause for 1 second before you greet them back, you are not watching a stretch. You are watching 40 million years of evolution. You are watching oxytocin rise in 2 nervous systems at once. You are watching cortisol fall away from a body that missed you. You are watching the asymmetric, intentional, untrainable greeting of a creature that has chosen you out of every human alive as a member of its pack. Not the cat, not the wolf, not any of the other species your dog walks past every day. You. It is one of the oldest gestures on Earth. It is one of the most precise pieces of love ever evolved. And your dog made it. Just for you. If your dog bows when they see you, comment "play bow" below. Marc Bekoff would want to know how many of you noticed. And in the next video, we are decoding something even more revealing than the bow itself. The position your dog chooses to sleep in. The curl, the sprawl, the side, the back. Each one is a confession about who they think you are. That video drops next. Don't miss it.